The views expressed on the Jerry Cahill CF podcast are that of Jerry Cahill and guests, and not necessarily those of the Boomer Esiason Foundation. Nothing on the Jerry Cahill CF podcast should be considered medical advice. Such advice can only be given by a physician who is experienced with cystic fibrosis. The Boomer Esiason Foundation, Jerry Cahill and guests cannot be held responsible for any damage which may result from using the information on this podcast without the permission of your medical doctor. You're listening to the Jerry Cahill CF podcast presented by the Boomer Esiason Foundation and jerrycahill.com.
You ready? Okay, we're on the scene here in Ardmore, Pennsylvania, getting ready to do another CF podcast with Will. Got my mask. I think this is the right door. Welcome to Jerry Cahill's Living, Breathing, Succeeding podcast. Will? Hello. Oh, hi, here we are. This show, Strengthened Fitness Training and CF Care, was made possible through an unrestricted educational grant from Novartis to the Boomer Esiason Foundation. See, we heard you might be a little nervous of the camera, so we thought we'd just roll in right away. Wow.
There you go.
Got a brace on there and everything.
Just a little compression.
Today you will meet Will Schlucter, 26 years old, from Pennsylvania. Will enjoys sharing his passion for fitness and athletics and owns his own gym called Will Power. Will enjoys surfing, paddleboarding, and competing in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Hi, I'm Will Schlucter. I'm 26 years old. We're at Will Power Strength and Conditioning, my gym here in Ardmore, Pennsylvania. What gets me going in the morning is the people that I train. So when I wake up, my feet hit the floor, first thing on my mind is who's first, who's after that, and what are we gonna work on today? The first time I used the kettlebell, I had no idea what I was doing, but then as soon as I got just the basics down, it was the most fun that I'd had training. The kettlebells came from Russia. They're old. They used them as counterweights for weighing grain as early as the 18th century. Position. As much power as you can on the first, and more on every rep after. Good. With kettlebell training, you're training the whole body and a movement like the swing. You're training the whole body to create a lot of force and develop a lot of stability at the end of the movement, and at the same time training a healthy and natural deep breathing pattern that's a cardiovascular workout in itself, and good conditioning and training for the lungs. For me, when I was younger, I think with a lot of my physical activities, I kind of met my CF where it was finding me. So I would go to soccer practice, I would see the whole soccer season through, but I would, a cough would come up. If a cough came up on the field, sometimes I would say, that's enough when I was younger and walk off the field. And because my coaches and teachers and people like that had been warned about or given the heads up about cystic fibrosis, none of them were like, get back out there, toughen up. They welcomed me saying, I'm gonna take a break here. And it wasn't until I became an adult and got back into fitness and athletics that I started to say, I'm gonna cough through this and I'm gonna push through this cough and see what the next step, see what the further limit of my potential is. So building off of each of those experiences, I would say that just like I can lift more weight than I could last year, I have more willpower, however we would measure that. If we could, I have more than the year before, and that year, one before that. So. Deep breath in, pressing to the elbow. So if someone comes in, or if someone were to, approach me and they have cystic fibrosis and they want to talk about getting started or maybe picking back up with a fitness program that they left behind because they found the cystic fibrosis component of that challenging, I think the first and most important thing to do is run it by your CF Care team, because they're going to have some great input onto energy balance and important considerations for your training. And then from there, just take it step by step, day by day. It's okay for your training to push you out of your comfort zone and to make you a little uncomfortable. And if it's making you cough, just like a lot of our treatments and therapies, that's a fantastic benefit of it a lot of the time. And also knowing that you don't have to do everything all at once, that we're in this fitness journey for the rest of our lives, so that every week just needs to be a little better than the last week, a little more work, a little progress is all we're looking for, because consistency wins out over intensity all of the time. And that's really the most important message for someone struggling with staying on track.
Okay, it's all about the journey.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Great, shake it out, breathe deep, recover well.